people. Welcome back to OTMkast podcast, where we dive into anything and everything that shapes our lives, from sports to lifestyle, from fashion to careers and beyond. This is your one-stop destination for insightful conversations and engaging discussions. You probably heard my voice, but I'm super tired. I just came back from a long week of travel, but uh, it is what it is. We gotta move. We gotta move. So this today's topic sparks from my travel all through the week. And one thing that I want to do today is to remind each and every one of us that no one writes your story. You do. So I want to use this medium to ask you that who are you? So take a second. No, really, like take a second, pause this video or pause the audio where you're listening from and think back. I'm not talking about your name. I'm not talking about what you do for a living. I'm not even talking about what your LinkedIn bio say. I'm not thinking about what your Instagram say, but who you really are. It's a simple question, but it is deep. There are many ways, and I'm sure many of you who post a video define yourself in so many ways. And I can tell you that I've tried to define myself all through this week. Who am I? And one thing that I've come to realize is many of us define ourselves by our profession. I'm an IT auditor, I'm an engineer, I'm a nurse, I'm a photographer, I'm a software engineer, and that is totally valid. But what you do can reflect a part of who you are. Some of us could say I'm Christian, I'm a Muslim, I'm spiritual, but I'm not religious. Uh, I'm still someone who still defines myself by the value I'm putting out. For example, like kindness, discipline, creativity, loyalty, and so on and so forth. And if we go a little bit deeper, people can often define themselves by the pain or by their past. I'm a survivor. I'm someone who's been through it all, hell and back, heaven and earth, and all of that. But let's not forget what this is. We do not live in isolation. So, as much as we love to control our identity, the world also defines who we are. Let me give you an example. And this example also again came from some of the things that I did all through the week of my travel. And have you ever noticed some people try to somehow test you just to see who you are? They would ask something provoking and out of curiosity try to some way somehow push your button and see what your reactions will be. For example, if you snap or you get angry, they could define you like, oh, boom, you're labeled emotional. If you respond calmly and somehow you're labeled weak, but if you clap back cleverly, now you're smart or worse, you're cocky, you're proud, your ego speaks louder than and so many things. And just like that, people have defined you and they've assigned a label to you. Think about it this way. Your colleagues at work, they could define you as hardworking or lazy, smart or intelligent. Your church or mosque or whatever religion you believe in, they could define you as either spiritual or not serious enough. Your family could define you and say something like you are the reliable one, uh, you're the black sheep of the family. So one thing that I want to ask you is which version of all those answers is true? There are multiple identities, but there is only one you. The truth is, everyone sees you differently, no matter how it is, no matter what you say, no matter what you do. Every single person, the society sees you differently. And it all boils down to the lens at which they are looking through. This means that there are multiple versions of you floating around in people's minds. One version is at work, one version is at home, one version is online, one version is in church. And sometimes none of them match who you really are when you hear people say some things about you. So the real question becomes, how do you truly define yourself? The most powerful way to define yourself, and this is what I believe in. If you believe in something different, leave it in the comment. Let's share thoughts together. But the most powerful way that you can define yourself is by your actions. Not what you say, not what you post, not even what you think, but what you consistently do. Let me repeat that in a better definition. Your consistency reveals your true identity. If you consistently show up for people, then you're dependable. If you consistently create, then you're creative. If you consistently cut corners, then that's something to say as well. So don't just ask, who am I? Ask, what do I do consistently, even when no one is watching? Because that is the real you. I'm not going to keep this episode long because I'm super tired, but I cannot miss the dedication that I've put into these and also the promise that I made to you guys to drop every 2 weeks. Let's land on this. I want to make it open and get what you think. Let's dialogue. So the moment that you can control who you are or what you don't, or if you're not consistent on something, then you are giving the world the power to define you. People will always have their opinions of you. That is, you can't change that. There'll be assumptions, there'll be projections, and you can't control what people think. It's not possible. But what matters most is the standard that you hold yourself to. For example, I know some people that the word please and thank you is like it does not exist in their dictionary. It hurts them for some way. I mean, I don't know. It hurts them, and this is me defining them because of this is how I see them. And that's because of something they've been doing consistently. The words please and thank you does not exist in their dictionary. And this leads to the character that they've built over the line. Some people see themselves greater than every single person, either because they're richer, they're wiser for some reason. And that is how they see themselves, and that is some of the things they do consistently. And the legacy you leave behind through your actions matters a lot. So I'm challenging each and every one of us today. By the time this episode ends, which is about to, I want you to redefine who you are by asking yourself, what is it that I do consistently? Because no matter how it is, the noise will fade away and the spotlight will turn off at one point. And when those lights fade away, and what you do when people are not watching, that is who you really are. So before I go, leave in the comment 3 words that you think you do consistently that defines you. You can send me a DM, you can leave it in the comments, or better yet, screenshot this episode and tag me with your answers. Who am I? Let's keep the conversation going. But one thing that I would always remember, that I always remind you, is no one writes your story. You do. And for you to write your story, you have to be consistent in something. And that consistency makes you who you are. Thank you very much for listening, each and every one of you, either on YouTube, Instagram, or any platform, Spotify, Apple Podcast. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for all your comments, all your likes. Keep it coming, and let's keep on building this community of OTMkast podcast. So thank you very much wherever you're listening, either morning, afternoon, or night. Enjoy the rest of your day or night. Till we meet again, till we talk again. This is OTMkast podcast. Bye.